Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, tenno of all kinds, and people of all nations. I don't know what that intro was, but hello! So, we do have a slight issue at hand, and that issue is coming by the name of 18.13. 18.13 came out with a very hot-button discussion on Warframe passes and changes. They came with some very welcome and open active abilities. Well, not active abilities, because they're not active at all. Passive abilities. And these passive abilities were something needed and dire on these Warframes. I don't agree with all of them. Some of them are better than others, but hey, at least they have passives. And they came with some Warframe power changes, and these power changes are being very hot button about it. I think we're good, because we're still leading by 2. Yeah, we're good. Alright, because we're winning by 3 points. Alright. So, I have until the end of this interception mission to get my point across. And if I don't, I fail as a content creator and as a player and as a speaker. So let's get to the point. 18.13 changed some Warframe abilities. And those Warframe abilities are not being necessarily agreed upon. And that is a non-issue. I will say you're seeing council chat, so ignore everything you see in there. And I do agree with all the Warframe changes. I don't agree 100% with them, but I agree with them. Because it comes down to one thing. Some of those powers should have never been able to do some of the things that they did initially. Some of these powers should not go through walls, because they logically make no sense. Some of these powers should have never been map-wide, because they really never should have been that powerful, and that unchecked. And I don't agree with something that was a percentage-based system switching to a flat number system. Because if you get 100, multiply it by 200%, you get 300. You're doing 300 damage now because of 200% damage increase in the power strength. But your 300 damage is nothing when the enemies have 3,000 health. So 300 to 3,000, you're tickling them. And it doesn't work. Instead, when it was percentage-based, it scaled regardless. I'm sorry, you have 300,000? Okay, we're gonna do 80% of that in damage. You're dead, regardless, because it scales. Even if it was a low-level enemy, 80% would still, guess what? It's very powerful. 80% is 80%. You're gonna do the exact same effect, low-level, as you do at a higher level. In changing it to a number system, you literally just punish that system. And it doesn't help the players, it doesn't help the community, and it doesn't help the ecosystem that the game has that is very delicate right now. And that's kind of criticizing the developers, but they need to see what effects their changes have in practicality. And the only way to do that is by submitting it to the game. And we have to test it, we have to make sure that it's not too strong, that it's not too weak, and tell them, hey, you messed up. This needs to be better. And just kind of help them better the game. And that leads to a second factor. There's a lot of salt. There is salt so much that I am seeing it come out of people's ears and form little salt crystals. Because it is just that bad. And that is not good for the game. That is not good for the community. It's not good for anyone. We have older players attacking newer players, saying that these changes are to accommodate newer players so they don't become so overwhelmingly powerful like older players and cause a artificial inflation. And then you have newer players blaming older players because like these guys have abused the game so much, they're punishing my favorite frame, and that's not fair. You should punish those players abusing it and not my frame. And then if they're not doing that, they're attacking the developer. And you're not helping anything at all. If you guys have noticed, I'm on an interception mission. We only own 2 of the 4 points. But look, the enemies are happily content just running around, not doing anything, not capturing the points, and ignoring the fact that we have stolen their things. Look, we just killed 2 people. What is he gonna do? Just stand there and talk to his buddy? What is going on? What is the conversation over here that's so important? Are you talking about the almighty savior, the void? Are you trying to convert him? No? Okay, forget you guys. This is a real problem in the game. This has to be fixed. Bad AI. But they can't fix the AI because there's a bigger problem in the game. The enemy scaling. The scaling is too unfair. If they fix it and make it more fair, the players are too strong. And the players are too strong because the scaling is there as a band-aid because the AI isn't too smart. And they're not going to make it smart because if it's smart, it doesn't change the fact that they'll just get stomped and the game becomes passive. A passive game is a dead game. And that's what the game has been all this time. With the most recent Warframe changes, all you've done is just point out the problem and people are ignoring it. People see like, oh, the AI is bad. Or the enemy scaling is too unfair. But you know what? That's not the problem. It's not the enemies being too difficult for no reason at higher levels. It's the Warframes being nuked or nerfed or touched. That's the problem. No, it's not. The Warframes are fine. The enemies need to be tweaked. Their spawning needs to be tweaked. Their scaling needs to be tweaked. Their intelligence needs to be tweaked. And to fix that, you literally have to rewrite them entirely. Let's address the AI. Let's address the problem with the enemy factions. And let's kind of put the attention where it needs to be instead of arguing over a non-issue like the Warframe balance passes. Because that's not really a problem. It's a lack of active things to do. It's a lack of intelligent AI. And it's a lack of a fair, balanced, scaling AI. And I'm going to throw it out there. The game should feel more like Halo, where everything is based on enemy composition and scaling. When you see grunts, when you see these guys, you shouldn't be concerned. But when you see a hunter, you should be concerned. When I see a bombard, I should be more concerned than I am. When I see a heavy gunner, I should feel more concerned than I am. When I see ancients, I should feel more concerned than I am. But I don't. Because they scale unfairly, and even if they don't scale unfairly, they're just too dumb. And if you fix that, there's still not enough to do in the actual missions. Because I'm just sitting here, there's nothing. Like, challenge me, force me to come out of stealth. There's nothing. Even on any Warframe, this is a problem. And it's something that needs to be addressed. So, I'm going to sit here and farm up these items. Because I need the other barrel for the Extoletta. So, end of the round. You saw the entirety of the mission. I was in stealth. Doesn't matter what Warframe I use. They all have a niche. They all have a problem. Because the AI has a problem. So let's try to resolve the true underlying issue in the game. And let's not fight over non-problems. And let's not attack the developers for trying to fix a game that they so desperately care about. I'm not being biased against them. I call them out on a lot of things. I call them out on Melee 2.0. They hyped that thing up to feel like Devil May Cry, and it doesn't. And I'm still very upset about that, but I'm just going to let it slide. For once, I'm going to let that slide. But everything else, as long as you keep that lore up and make me cry again, I'm good. I want another tear in my eye. I don't want to have a tear in my eye because just the promises are too ambitious or something. Or these enemies don't do what they're supposed to. Look at that. Come on! Give me a reason to get out of stealth. Just give it to me for one moment. One moment. No? Okay. So until next time, let's just not attack each other. Come on.